What's up, Lego builders? Well, welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for yet another mock showcase. I know, another one. I've been trying to get all of my mock ideas out and done before I start my next big mock. When I'm doing all these large mocks on this table, I don't have the time, space, or parts to do a lot of other ones, so all these ideas build up. So I've actually been wanting to do a Gungan one for a while. There have been a couple of mocks that were kind of inspired me and got me wanting to do one. I don't remember who did it or what it was called, or else I would credit it. Now you look at this mock and you can clearly see it's not really on par with what I typically do. It's definitely not my best mock, not my fanciest one. It's pretty simplistic, but I really enjoy doing mocks like this at times because it's fun for me to just sit down and build without any crazy without super high expectations, needing to put a video together. Really, this was just kind of me building for fun, wanting to enjoy the process of just putting a mock together and taking an idea in my head and turning it into a story. Another reason I like to do mocks like this is these are great experimental mocks. I have my big mock series. I've got my secondary mock series. I've got standalone mocks that come out. Mocks like these are a great place to try out techniques and to just try new things without that, like, oh man, it has to turn out so good. There's a lot less pressure on these mocks, which helps me just play around with different things, figure out what I like, pick stuff that I want to do later and put in my bigger and more fancier mocks. Here we have On the Warpath. This depicts a tribe of Gungan warriors coming out of the mists to go do battle against another tribe. You can see you've got the guy right here blowing his horn, calling out the armies. I just really love Gungans. I love Naboo. The Gungan species is probably my favorite alien species in Star Wars, so you're going to see a lot of these mocks, even though they probably aren't the most popular or the most beloved species. I absolutely love building mocks with them. The inspiration behind this section right here was actually from Star Wars Episode 1, when you see that Gungan blowing that horn and you see that all the Gungans starting to come out of the mist onto the plains to go do battle against the droids. I thought that was a really cool scene. And the other day I was thinking about what I was going to do with this mock, and I thought, like, how can I use all those trans clear parts? And it hit me like a thunderbolt, like, oh, I could totally use them as mist. So that's what all these pillars back here represent, is basically a wall of mist you can imagine off here in the back. And then out here on the grass you can see it started to disperse and melt, but there's a little bit of mist still on the top of the grass. So that's what those studs represent. You can see even a couple of these warriors are like still half submerged in the mist, still making their way out. That's probably one of my favorite sections of the mock and the one I had the most fun with. I think this technique turned out pretty good. You guys will have to let me know what you think, but I would like to use this again in the future, especially on Naboo mocks. Over here we've got this familiar statue I used in my last Naboo mock, propped up right here on a hill. You can see it's partially submerged by all this grass. Then you've got more Gungans coming up here on the trail. Next to them we have my little Gungan cavalry. I only had feathers for one mount. I don't know what happened to the other feathers, so you can see these ones are missing. And then I actually included this guy out of nostalgia. So all of these Gungans are the same. They're the newer, like 2015 style. They've got their heads, there's just a lot more color to them. You can see the old 1999 Gungan is pretty plain. There's not really much else to tell you guys. This is going to be a pretty quick video. One thing I did do, similar to my previous mock, Scouting Patrol on Umbara, I actually built a snot base. You can see it's just a bunch of bricks on their side, and then actually set a bed of plates on top of that and placed the grass. I like this technique. It's a lot of fun, and it doesn't require a ton of wedge plates, which I don't have a lot of in green. I have next to none. So this allowed me to kind of create that circular shape with these slope bricks without having to use the plates. You can see I got a circular shape going on here, and I wouldn't have been able to capture that without those. So this may be a technique I actually start to utilize a lot more, because you can see, we'll knock off some of these grass pieces. It's actually just wedge plates. It's actually just plates kind of set next to each other, and then I filled in those gaps and made it look all nice and smooth and natural with grass pieces. I had a lot of fun with it. It definitely isn't my best mock ever. You can see, it's pretty simple. There wasn't even a whole lot of detail on the backs of these Gungans, but I had a lot of fun with it, and I was excited to get this one out and physically built. I may end up keeping this one for a while just because it's pretty small and I don't need a lot of these parts for anything, and I just want to show more Gungan love in my studio. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know what you thought about this mock down below in the comments, and I will catch you guys next time. But until then, happy building.